Knock, knock. I know you're saying who's there. Orange. Orange who, you ask? Orange, you glad Jacob Letman's back to bring you another Rideshare Hub video? Boom! That was cheesy. I don't know. I have to do this stuff. I have to crack myself up. It's just who I am. Hey, welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. Thanks for being here. Happy to see you all. Truly, we appreciate your views, and we appreciate when you like our videos. Give it a big thumbs up if you take anything away from this. I think you will today. This is a really good and important video. Before we get started, if you haven't started driving for Rideshare, jump down into the video description. You'll find some links there that you can click on. You follow those through. Get signed up, get sign-on bonuses, and all that good stuff. If you need a retroactive sign-on bonus, that is down below as well. All the details on how to do that are in the video description. So hey, you guys, what we're talking about today are 5 ways that you can always be safe. Well, no, not all. 5 ways to help you always be safe while you're driving for Rideshare. Actually, I wanted to do this video because just yesterday I saw that there was a girl in Utah who ordered a Rideshare ride and she got picked up, and I guess it was by a stranger, and now she's been missing for weeks. So it's very sad to hear, and also have this video because of the 1% of craziness that is out there, and there are those really terrible stories that we all hear that kind of make you like, ooh. I mean, the system as a whole is pretty safe, I tell people, because of the 2-way rating system. And it's not like you can get away with anything in the Rideshare game either way, because everything is documented, right? So we can see who was riding and who the driver was. We can always track that. And so it would really have to be someone with nothing to lose that would go rogue, and I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on that stuff. That's a downer. I just want you guys to be informed and be safe, and so that's what this video is about. So number 1 way to do that is to always ask for your passenger's name. And I had to retrain myself of this, just because sometimes you're driving, you can clearly see who the person is standing outside. But I've just made it a habit. Every time that I pull up, they either open the door, I roll down the window, and I say, "What's your name?" And they tell me what their name is, right? And I can easily match that up. And it's a good thing I do it, because I've gotten to situations where I didn't do that. That's on other videos. That's another story. But that way, you just know for a fact that you're picking up the right person. Number 2. So, all right. Here, let me read this for you. So Lyft's policy on weapons, which they have a 0 tolerance on those, and that is no guns, knives, tasers, explosives, stun guns, or tasers. Oh, I said tasers twice. Huh. So you really can't have tasers. Okay, now also they will review anything that could potentially be a weapon in a case-by-case thing, and they reserve the right to make a judgment call on that. So you can't have those. Now, pepper spray wasn't noted in there. Not saying, I'm just saying. Here's kind of my standpoint on that. Like with the pepper spray, it's not in there, and so I don't carry anything in my vehicle, but I'm also a guy, it's a little different, not saying that it's an absolute, but my girlfriend, she does carry pepper spray, and I would rather have her have that if something came up, and have that on her and get deactivated for driving than something happened to her, right? So safety is more important to me than any job ever will be. So I'm just saying, make your safety a priority. I think that's the most important thing. I'm not telling you to carry a gun in your car, though. Definitely not saying that. Number 3. So, this is a good one. Play the what if game. If you can, with someone else that drives for Rideshare, or just by yourself, think of different situations that could possibly come up and think of what you would do in those situations. And again, I hate to dwell on the negative here, but it's good to have a plan in case something does happen. That's kind of like a fire escape plan, right? So if something comes up and someone becomes aggressive as a driver, what does that look like for you? How are you going to handle that? Pull off the side of the road, get out of the car, turn off the car, dial 911. Always the first thing that you should try and do is dial 911 if there's anything that feels uncomfortable or unsafe to you. And it's tough too, because we're in a situation where we're the driver, they're in our back seat or front seat, and if something were to happen, it's tough. And I'm not saying I have the answers exactly on how to handle that. This is a good way to play the what if game and come up with a plan that works for you if something were to happen. Number 4, installing a dash cam. I like this idea. For some reasons, I don't have one. And also, it's tough. So they're not. Some states require that you let your passengers know that they're being recorded. So you need a sign that says, "Hey, you're on camera." And then other states or cities don't allow them. So the best way to check on if you can have one is to get on your local DMV website. I think that's probably the best way you can find that information. You can call the DMV. Good luck with that, but give it a shot if you want to. And you can find out what the restrictions are, if there are any, on having a dash cam. That's always a really safe thing, right? Number 5, the passenger rating. So, and I'm going to say number 5, passenger rating as well as areas. So know your city's areas, because every city has their nicer and less nice areas. So it's good to know what the safety level of those areas are, and then look at those passenger ratings as a request comes up. And I've turned down a lot of rides for 4 stars or even 4.5 stars. Because I feel like you really have to be doing something wrong for a driver to go out of their way to give a passenger a bad rating, because we have to go out of our way now to find that passenger, give them a poor rating. So something really has to go wrong. On that note, do your other drivers a favor, and if there is a passenger that did something, even if they were talking disrespectful or had an attitude or smelled like smoke, I think all of that stuff is really important to document. Even if you give them a 4-star, I think it's vitally important. You're helping out your other drivers, basically. And this is a rideshare community, so that's what we're all about. And then the bonus, number 6, and possibly the most important, and that is trust your instincts. So if you're driving to pick someone up somewhere and something doesn't look right or doesn't feel right, and you just get a feeling inside, trust that 100% of the time. It is far better to cancel the ride and drive off than it is to get yourself in an uncomfortable situation. Actually, here's a great story. And it was a weekday morning, like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in a retirement community, Sun City here in Phoenix area. A lot of old people. I had this ride request, and the pin was kind of like in the middle of a street, but it wasn't a busy street, so I just parked on the side of the road, and there was a cinder block wall out to the right of me, and I'm like, this is weird, where are they? And these 2 people jumped the cinder block wall, and first of all, red flag, right? Why is anyone jumping a cinder block wall? And it was probably like a 6-foot wall. It was not a short wall. So that's weird. And the first person who jumped was a female, and she got over and she kind of looked like tipsy. And right away, I got a bad feeling. And fortunately, this is when I first, or what happened? My car had locks, so every time you put it into drive, the door's automatically locked. I've since changed that. So she came up to my rear passenger door and tried to get in, and it was locked. And then she kind of like backed away from my vehicle and turned away, and I just put it in drive and took off and canceled the ride. Something didn't feel right. It was a weird situation, and anyway, the point is, trust your instincts. Always trust your instincts. Be safe out there, everyone. If you took something away from this video, or more importantly, if you have anything else to add, jump down into the comment section below. Let us know some of your safety habits or how other drivers can be safe. All right, thanks you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and be safe out there.